Since I really got serious about bass fishing, one of the things that I always strive for is a tackle management system. Not only for keeping the things that I want to use on a regular basis organized, but also keeping me from going a little bit overboard when I get to the tackle store. I've acquired quite a bit of tackle over the years. However, in my defense, part of the reason I've got so much tackle is because I fish for several different species of fish, and each species takes a little bit different lure and variations of those lures. I've been using these plastic storage containers for the last few years. It gives me a little bit of hope, at least, that there may be some real way to organize some of the tackle I have, to be able to keep track of how much I have or what I do need to buy. Plastic boxes allow me to keep a reasonable inventory, especially the stuff that I use all the time and have quite a bit of success on multiple lakes with. As you can see today, I'm using a couple variations on lizards, and these bass they're just tearing them up. I'm going through them left and right. So not only do I keep my boxes restocked, but these ones that I use quite often and on multiple lakes, I also keep some extra packages in the boat. It's interesting how different times of the year fish can behave so much differently. I headed out last weekend to go do a video, get some footage, and I caught a couple small ones in the first couple hours. I ended up just putting my cameras and stuff away and goofing around. Just thought I would try some stuff that I tried in the past that I haven't done for a while, and moved out into deeper water and threw on a crankbait. And for whatever reason, I put one on I've never used before. It was one of those in my box that I just thought, oh, it might work at some point, and it was game on. I got a fish every single cast for like 10 casts in a row. Missed a couple. They stopped biting there. I moved over like 50 feet and did the exact same thing. And the fish were just on fire for about an hour and a half. Today is pretty much the same thing. I had a real struggle this morning finding anything and cycled through quite a few lures. Moved up into the shallow water, and the water's starting to warm up nicely here finally. And just got into them, and now I'm getting one on every cast, multiple bites on each cast, and they're just shredding these lizards that I have here. Which brings me back to my original comment about being able to stay organized and knowing how many of your favorite lures are soft baits, or even how many worms you have. Like, being able to stay organized, be able to open that box that has your favorite lizards or stick baits or even crankbaits, and make sure that you have more than one of your favorites. We lose a lot of stuff out there, either get broke off or, hung up on a log or whatever. But being able to know if it's time to restock, the worst thing that could have happened this morning, they were very particular with color. If I'd only had two of those dark colored lizards in my box and lost those, they would have been shredded right away. I may have only got one or two fish, but I kept it stocked up, and I had some extras in the boat, which allowed me to just, keep throwing new ones on, keeping it so they had really good action and doing really well this morning. One of the other things I do that really helps me remember what I need to get when I go to the tackle store, because there's usually a few things that I need, and then, like everybody else, I end up with a couple things that I want or look really cool when I get there. I keep a list on my phone of the common things that I use, whether it's certain kinds of fishing line or certain kinds of soft baits or lures or whatever. And being as my phone's with me all the time, when I'm fishing, if I notice that I'm starting to run low on something, I just untick that off the list. And that way, when I get to the tackle store, I know exactly what things I need to replenish what I use most often. That's one of the ways that I find, when you're out there and the fishing's just on fire and you're using these lures or baits that, you go through them quite a bit, quite fast, that you got some extras and that you're stocked up so you can just hammer them, and have a really good day out there on the water. Don't forget to subscribe. Next week, I'm heading over to Kettle Falls in north central Washington and the upper end of Lake Roosevelt for walleye. Can't imagine I won't end up with a couple of nice smallmouth in the net as well on that trip. This is my second trip to that area, so I'm super excited. I got some really nice walleyes there last year, so you don't want to miss that trip. And then 2 weeks from then, about 2.5 weeks from now, I'll be headed down to the lower Columbia along the Oregon border, not too far from Umatilla, to meet my daughter and son-in-law and little granddaughter. And we're going to have 5 days of walleye fishing down there. And walleye fishing down there is walleye, smallmouth, catfish, perch, a lot of different species down there. It's beautiful country. It's always a good trip. This will be our 3rd year down there, so we're kind of narrowing things down. Expect to have a lot of success down there. So good luck with your fishing and figuring out how to manage your tackle. We'll see you on the water.